All right, let's pull back the curtain on something we all deal with every single day, but probably never really see. We're talking about the hidden machinery that makes big businesses actually work. It's all about enterprise systems and how they bring a little bit of order to what can feel like total chaos.
I mean, really think about it for a second. You've got thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of employees, millions of customers all over the world. How does something as simple as you ordering a new phone not just grind the whole system to a halt? Because from the outside, yeah, it totally looks like this, just a crazy tangled web of people, data, and tech. But believe it or not, there's a hidden order to it all. And today, we're going to map it out together.
To make sense of that system, the first thing we have to do is break the company down into its most basic parts. The big secret to managing all this complexity is actually pretty simple. Nobody does everything. The whole game is about dividing up the work so that different groups can become real experts in just one specific piece of the puzzle. And these little areas of expertise, well, they have a name. They're called functional areas, and they are basically the building blocks of almost every company on the planet.
Most businesses really boil down to four main pillars. You've got marketing and sales. They're the ones who find the customers. Then you've got supply chain management. They make and ship the stuff. Accounting and finance. They handle all the money. And human resources, of course, they manage all the people. Each one is its own little world.
So that leads to the million-dollar question, right? If you put all the sales folks in one box and all the money folks in another, how do you keep them from becoming these isolated islands that never talk to each other?
The answer, and this is truly the engine that drives any company, is the business process. This is the magic that connects all those specialized departments and turns all their separate little jobs into one valuable result. So what is a business process, really? Well, the official definition is a collection of activities that takes inputs and creates an output of value to the customer. Simply put, it's just a series of steps that takes a request and turns it into something the customer actually wants. I like to think of it like a three-legged stool. You've got the business steps, that's the what you do. You've got the stakeholders, that's the who is doing it. And you've got the business goals, the why you're even doing it in the first place. If any one of those legs is shaky, the whole thing just falls apart. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this feel real. We're going to follow a process that probably every single one of us has been through, buying a new smartphone. So here's the whole journey, just a bird's eye view. You can see right here how one simple request from you kicks off this whole chain reaction. It bounces between different departments, and each one takes a piece of info, does its job, and creates a new result for the next team in line. So let's break it down step by step. It all starts with you. Simple as that. Your decision to buy a phone is the input, the trigger that gets the ball rolling. And who's the first department to catch that ball? Of course, it's marketing and sales. Look at this. Marketing and sales acts like this central hub, kind of like an air traffic controller. They take your request and turn it into an official sales order. And that order, it's not just for them. It gets immediately shared as data with accounting, so they can handle the payment, and with the supply chain, so they know a phone needs to get ready to ship. Okay, next up, you've got to pay for it. Doesn't matter if you're paying with a credit card or setting up a payment plan, that financial transaction goes straight to one place, the accounting and finance department. So accounting and finance grabs that sales order data from marketing. They process your payment, and then boom, they send confirmation back. It's this perfect little information loop, a seamless handshake between two different departments, all thanks to the process. All right, the order's in, the money's sorted. Now the process moves from the digital world into the physical one. The task is no longer just data. It's an approved order that needs to be filled. And that's a job for supply chain management. This is where the magic really happens. The supply chain team takes that sales data, uses it to find the right phone in the warehouse, boxes it up, and get it on a truck. They are literally turning bits of data into a physical object that shows up right at your front door. So we've seen a process in action. But where do these things even come from? I promise you, they don't just appear out of thin air. There's actually a formal life cycle for building them right. And this life cycle shows you it's never just a one-and-done kind of thing. You start with clear goals, then you plan it all out, you assign people to each step, and you test it, small scale at first. Once it works, you implement it and you monitor it constantly. But the real key here is that it's a loop. You're always analyzing the results and feeding that info back in to make the process even better over time. At the end of the day, the whole point of this life cycle is to stop guessing and start building a reliable system. You're creating a repeatable roadmap that anyone in the company can follow to get a predictable, successful result every single time. It's how you make excellence just the standard way of doing things.
So why do companies pour so much time, energy, and frankly, a ton of money into building and perfecting these processes? Well, because the payoff is absolutely huge.
I mean, the benefits are massive. A solid process cuts down on costs and reduces the risk of things going wrong. It gets rid of wasted effort, boosts productivity, and just makes everything more efficient. It's what lets everyone get on the same page. These processes, they're really the foundation of a healthy business. And all the software that connects this whole web together, that's what we call an enterprise system.
And that pretty much wraps it up. So the next time you order a coffee or book a flight or even just return a package, take a second. Try to spot the hidden process. See if you can map out the inputs, the outputs, and the different departments working together behind the scenes. Because now that you know what to look for, you're going to start seeing them absolutely everywhere.